Boop bop, it's your boy Brando. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have another video for y'all today. Today we are reacting to Sharon Moore jailed hours after being fired at Michigan. I already know the story, but I'm gonna react to y'all because some of y'all might be living under a rock and y'all might not know what happened. And this is the biggest L probably of 2025, other than Diddy. But make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, post bell notifications. Let's get into the video, bro.
Out of Ann Arbor, as the University of Michigan has fired Sharon Moore as its head football coach earlier Wednesday following an investigation into Moore's conduct with a staff member.
Never trust a nigga with facial hair like this. Never trust a nigga with facial hair like this.
Following his dismissal, Moore was detained by police in Saline, Michigan, and was later in custody at the Washtenaw County Jail as a suspect in an alleged assault. Police said he remains in custody at this time. We welcome in Dan Wessel, ESPN senior writer and contributor to the College Game Day podcast based in Michigan. And Dan, there are a number of layers to this story which you have been reporting throughout the day. Let's work our way backwards with the timeline, which now includes a police report that sheds a bit of light. What do you understand about that timeline, as I say, working our way backwards?
Okay, so Michigan concluded an investigation into Sharon Moore earlier Wednesday and determined with credible evidence that he had had a inappropriate relationship with a staff member against university policy and his own contract, and he was immediately fired for cause. Soon after that, at about 4:10 p.m., Pittsfield Township Police, just outside Ann Arbor, responded to a call to residents where they were there to investigate an alleged assault. Sharon Moore had left the place at that time and was later detained, as you said, by the Saline Police Department, which is another town a little bit outside of Ann Arbor, which then brought him back to Pittsfield Township. At 8:40 tonight, or 8:30 tonight, I'm sorry, he was brought to the Washtenaw County Jail, where he is in custody due to the alleged assault. And actual charges will be determined by the Washtenaw County Prosecutor's Office in the next day or so.
All right, so those are the very serious issues related to this story.
Y'all notice how that man, when he reported that, not once said it was at his house? I wonder where he went.
And we will wait for the clarity and the details as they are forthcoming in the coming hours and days. As for the story, as we work our way back to what you mentioned, which is the firing of Sharon Moore, and I just want to be frank here. I mean, in college football circles, this was not a closely held secret. There was a lot of smoke, a lot of innuendo, but you all aren't in the business of reporting that. So I guess what I'm going to ask as it relates to this dismissal and the investigation is, when was it that Michigan really felt like they might be in the business of needing to find a new head coach?
Well, I think the investigation began, recently. At least this part of the investigation into Sharon Moore's conduct, at least over a week ago. And like they said in their statement, you need credible evidence to make a firing, particularly for a cause of this situation. It's a very sensitive situation.
What's crazy, now that he explains it, it makes so much more sense to why this is coming out now. Because Michigan, no, I'm not. Because what's crazy is Michigan has been so bad recently. Especially if you're not really American, you don't know this, but Michigan has been so bad recently that Michigan was looking for a reason to fire this man, and they definitely got their fucking reason
for everyone involved. And so that's when it took time. But I agree, there was a lot of rumors, there was a lot of gossip. It wasn't necessarily a closely held secret, but Michigan had their investigation. This is when they came up with in early
Understood.
December.
And again, there are so many layers to this, some legal and some as it just relates to the football program. And just to focus on the football piece of this, you've just had signing day. You've just had this wild cycle that's seen jobs at Penn State and LSU and Florida and on and on and on come open. And now here comes Michigan, which is one of the crown jewels in the sport. And I don't know who will be making the hire. There's a lot of questions regarding that. But just in terms, Dan, of the names that a program like Michigan might reasonably expect to be able to lure to Ann Arbor, who might we be looking at?
Who cares? Who fucking cares? I know Michigan fans care, but who cares? You know what sucks about this for Michigan at least? All the good coaches, at least majority of them, have already been hired. So now Michigan has fucked themselves because now they're in a situation where they got to find a coach that's actually decent, and not a lot of decent coaches are left.
Yeah, the timing here isn't the best for Michigan. Had they done this, had this situation, this job opened a month ago, they and LSU would have been the prime jobs to people have, and probably in a different candidate pool with each one of them. It is a school with enormous resources and potential, a lot of money, biggest stadium in the country, huge fan base, all of that. So it is an attractive job. The names that get thrown out right away, you hear about Kalen DeBoer at Alabama, but I've been told he's very comfortable there. He's got a great recruiting class coming in, alignment portal. He seems pretty happy there. There's a number of other possibilities. Whether it's Jed Fish up at Washington or Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri, or who knows, really. Any of those types of guys might be in, or they could go the NFL ranks. The issue for Michigan is a number of high profile coaches and really desirable coaches just sign new deals either at the school they were at that may prevent all these guys that I just mentioned, or took new jobs. So instead of being the pick of the litter, they're coming in late on this cycle. But this is a very attractive job. I wouldn't be surprised if there was NFL interest in it. Harbaugh kind of proved that you can win big there and set up a system. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting job hunt, but it's not the perfect of timing for the Wolverines.
He joined the Wolverines as an assistant in 2018, served as an interim head coach for 4 games while Jim Harbaugh was suspended in 2023. He was then hired as the team's head coach following its national championship campaign, served a self-imposed 2-game suspension of his own this season, and then on Wednesday, the university fired him for, quote, credible evidence that he was involved in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, close quote. He was detained by police shortly thereafter. We welcome ESPN college football analyst Greg McElroy to the program. And Greg, with the understanding, it's an admittedly difficult pivot from the seriousness of the news to the football piece, but obviously understanding that the football piece is your area of expertise, let's focus on Michigan as a job. Where it is on the top 10 or top 5, wherever you want to put it, lists, doesn't matter to me. It's one of the best. How do you think they should proceed at this time, given the fact that so many folks have now been locked up in other gigs?
Well, I think that's the challenging of the timing, Scotty, is that there would be a lot of really intriguing candidates, is that we already had kind of passed through the coaching carousel. So most of the most attractive guys that you would consider this time of year have been locked up to long-term deals, significant extensions, and significant bonuses and boosts.
Look at that mustache, everybody. Look at that shit right there.
So I think that's going to be very
I want to get one of them.
interesting, is how do you navigate a possible buyout of someone that just got extended? Is that something that's on the table for Michigan? But let's be real. If you look at where the Big Ten is right now and the gap that exists between the top of the Big Ten, and I would go as far as to say that Michigan is absolutely in the top versus the bottom of the Big Ten or even the middle of the Big Ten, the pathway on an annual basis to get to a college football playoff game is more manageable in the state of Michigan, at Michigan. And I think many view that if you look at the Big Ten scheduling, you win 1 or 2 games, you're going to be in the mix for a playoff spot just about every year. And you're, of course, going to have ample resources at your disposal to try to staff the program appropriately and go get the very best players that you can afford. So it's a remarkably attractive job. And with the gap that is continuing to grow at the top of the Big Ten, I think it's getting more attractive by the day.
I just wonder, given the fact that there was significant chatter out there about this, if there is a candidate that might have held his name back from other possibilities if something like this were to happen.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. I didn't even know Michigan was looking for a new coach.
We'll get some clarity on that in the coming days and weeks as that situation plays out. Let's talk playoff, thankfully, the games that we've been waiting all season to see. And you've got, I think, the best one of the opening round, and that's A&M and Miami.
Anyway, that's basically the end of the video, and I'm going to get my final thoughts. Let me tell y'all something. He probably has taken the biggest L of 2025 other than Diddy. I'm so serious when I say this. Dog, they just explained the football aspect of shit. Dog, look at the personal life. This nigga's about to lose all the money. Bro, look, I hate to be racial about this, but this is just true. We know how the court system is in the States. Dog, this is a black man that got caught cheating in front of the whole entire country. And he cheated on a white woman. His girl was white. And she got 3 daughters. Bro! And then what makes it worse is he's already looked at as a slimy dude because this nigga got caught cheating in like 2024 when it came to football. Bro, you know, he make black men look so bad. And you know what? You know what I'm going to say? You know what I'm going to say? You know what I'm going to say about this whole situation? I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad, bro. This nigga cheated, bro. This nigga had a family at home and fucked around and fucked it all up. And now look at him. Look at him. Bro, she's about to take all that money. His wife is about to take every single lick of money. She's about to take the money. She's about to take the house. She's going to take the kids. Imagine, bro, and you know what they said in the video? They said he's detained. I want y'all to imagine looking in that holding cell. Imagine being in the holding cell and you know your life is over. You went from this prestigious job. They just mentioned it. If you don't know, that Michigan's one of the best programs in the country. You just went from this prestigious job to coaching at one of the best colleges in the country to getting exposed for being a cheater to damn near losing your wife already, losing all that money, and then you get arrested. And now you're finna have probably possibly an assault charge on you. Bro, could you imagine? I want y'all to, could you imagine how bad it is? But hey, man, that's what happens. Bro, stop chasing the booty. Chase the beauty. Well, he probably was doing both. But it is what it is, man. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe button, and post bell notifications. Also, man, make sure you guys follow me on my socials, bro. My purple app, because I'm on TikTok right now. My purple app username is going to be right here. Thank you for all the love and support on the recent videos. And yeah, bro, stop cheating, bro. Be loyal. Find one girl, settle down, have a good family, because that's the best life. As always, I love y'all. It's been your boy Brando, and I'll see y'all in the next one.